Okay, so there are a couple of things going on with the auto segmenter. What it's going to do is it's going to take an image that you can either modify or not modify with a quantization lab and run the segmentation on that image. There are essentially three main steps to this process. The first one involves grouping all pixels in the image with a pixelation difference with a neighboring pixel. So anywhere in the image where there's a difference in color, essentially, it's going to map those pixels into a data structure that can be accessed later. The next step is to take that data structure with the differentials and segment it based on adjacency. So it's going to do a nearest neighbor search and spread out, essentially looking for adjacent pixels. And therefore, each segment will be created based on how many neighboring pixels it has once it spreads out. So after this step, the we have a segmentation of the contour of all the images in the file, all the outlines. Now the next step is to look at all of what's inside those outlines, all of the actual objects. So to accomplish that, there's going to be another nearest neighbor search for each pixel in the file to group those segments together. So what the algorithm does is it takes a pixel and it does an adjacency search for pixels around it, and it continues to do that until all of the neighboring pixels within the limits of the outline set are set to the same segment. Therefore, after the auto segmentation, you have a grouping for each pixel in the file to other pixels that have been designated in its same segment. Once that's been done, it's able to be uploaded by the labeler and used in the labeling process. So we can take a look at how that works here. You can either choose a file or choose a folder, and if you choose a folder, it will recursively segment each file in the folder. So let's look at a folder to view the auto segmentation process. Once again, I'm going to use a smaller file size for the moment so that we can see what's actually going on when the user's running it. So what's happening is it's going to segment each file and just display the image while it's segmenting it. And on the left in the red, you can see that it tells you how many files it's segmented so far. And after it segments one, it's going to output a computation time for each file. And what that's going to allow for is for the user to be able to determine how much longer the auto segmenter will be running before it's done running through his repository of files. So that way he's not left in the dark wondering when the algorithm's going to be done. In the segmenting module is the manual editor, so you can edit the list of contour points that is generated in the finding contour algorithm, and that way you can ensure that a certain segment that you want to label is closed and will be held as a unified region when you go to label it in the labeling module. So I can show you how that works. Can look at the rock wall image again. So if we wanted to ensure that this skyline was segmented as one region, we could ensure that this region is closed off here. And what's happening when I'm clicking is it's adding points to the contour where I click. So now this image is not going to be included with things like the tree line and whatnot. And I can just click here also to make sure that the algorithm is going to work and that the skyline will be segmented as one region. So I can do that for different parts of the image that I care about, and then I can save my changes and the image will go on to be segmented, and the region that I'm hoping to label as one unified region will be able to be labeled as such. So those are all the components of the image labeling tool. If you're interested, you can stick around and I'm going to label a few images. so you can see the utility of the labeling module more clearly. But thanks for watching.